Minecraft is one of the most popular games in history, and with each passing day, the community grows bigger and bigger because the game is enjoyable and you can play alone or with your friends. It can also be relaxing or competitive, and over time, there have been a lot of trends like the Minecraft Mob School, Hypixel, Hunger Games era, starting a survival world with friends, the PewDiePie effect, speedrunning, Minecraft 100 days, and so on. But it seems this time, most of the community enjoys a new trend called 100 players simulate civilization in Minecraft. Hello and welcome, warriors! Today, I thought we'd talk about a particularly interesting in-game trend that a lot of content creators have been posting videos about. Specifically, multiplayer servers of 100 or more players called civilization servers. Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, let's get started. These servers operate in a particularly interesting context and have arisen in popularity in recent years. But what exactly are civilization servers? How do they operate? Each server and content creator runs things a little differently, but the format stays consistent in a few areas. Fans of turn-based strategy games like Sid Meier's Civilization may very well be somewhat familiar with these servers. At their core, the format consists of a few common threads. At least 100 players or more hop into a multiplayer server and are separated into civilizations depending on the biome they reside in. Popular civilizations include jungle, desert, and snowy biome civs. The goal in most servers is for a civilization to last for 1 month in-game with the game mode locked to hardcore mode. To keep things interesting, players encounter events each in-game day to make survival a little more difficult. Examples include a blood moon that increases hostile mob spawns, day-long extreme hunger spells, and precious supply drops that carry loot items. Much like Sid Meier's Civilization, some civs are more socially ambitious than others, and peaceful coexistence between civs isn't always possible. This is particularly true when resources become scarce. Since so many players are part of a civilization and they're locked into hardcore mode, staying fed and healthy while battling mobs can be a difficult endeavor. Plus, when players die in the server, they're only able to spectate the game going forward, incapable of respawning. Naturally, a scarcity of resources and a threat of losing workers and protectors will push some civilizations to the brink of war. Some civilizations don't wait long to take the fight to other players either, determined to take what they need from other civs before they encounter supply issues themselves. Servers like these present a very interesting social experiment using a large sample of players. How long are the group of players willing to peacefully coexist before they're driven to turn on each other? No matter how experienced certain players are, the survival demands of dozens of players in a civilization are considerable. Minecraft worlds only have finite resources when it comes to some items and blocks. And as the in-game days tick by, you'd be surprised how quickly those resources can be consumed. Even with plentiful farms and future planning, eventually a civ's stock of supplies will end up with shortages. Minecraft Hardcore can already be a tough way to play when it comes to surviving. And having so many players banded together creates high productivity, but also a strict portioning of food and crafting goods. That's precisely what makes these servers so intriguing. Creators like Magic Gum and Ish have documented the series of events taking place, showing through their videos how quickly a battle between civilizations and their individual players can emerge. Civilizations begin like any Minecraft player does, scrambling to collect resources and find or build shelter before the threat of hostile mobs kicks up during nightfall. Considering the aggression of hostile mobs in Minecraft Hardcore, this alone is a difficult task, especially if a civilization doesn't begin in a particularly favorable situation. The further a civ is from initial resources, the faster they need to move in order to set up their bases and begin harvesting resources. The resource drops also present a point of contention between civilizations. Much like in PvP crafting games such as 7 Days to Die, a loot chest full of items is an alluring prospect. It may not be enough to send 1 or 2 players to retrieve the loot drop, especially when multiple civs are aware of its location. Small-scale skirmishes are incredibly likely when attempting to secure these chests, and every player lost in a hardcore server like this is gone for good. This creates a conundrum for the civs, as they must debate how many players are worth risking to send out to collect the loot drop. Depending on the situation, the risks may not be worth the reward, as it's always possible for a civ to lose multiple players and still not claim the loot drop at all. When looking for a silver lining in that context, there really isn't one to be found. Decision-making in these servers can be tricky to say the least. With so many players concurrently playing together, it can be difficult to determine who calls the shots. Without a little bit of social structure, players can end up in a chaotic situation that ends up with more players ending up as spectators for a very small net positive. Much like with the game Civilization itself, planning and organization can be the difference between success and a quick departure from the contest. It may not seem apparent right away, but informed decision-making is one of the more vital components of these servers. And content creators who have uploaded videos have shown us the interesting ebb and flow of reading and reacting to not only a civ's needs, but also the actions of other civs on the map. Throughout the collection of resources in Civilization servers, there is truly no more precious resource than available players. Even players that may not be as experienced as their peers are helpful contributors to keep the wheels of Civilization functioning. If a given civ is at a deficit of players, they're at a significant disadvantage in multiple facets of the game. Less players means less resources harvested over time, less bodies to defend against hostiles, and less fighters to dispatch to battle other civs or collect loot drops. Getting rid of a civ's key players such as organizers or proficient fighters can help, but every player within a civ is useful in some capacity. All in all, Civilization servers exhibit a very interesting part of human nature we don't often see in Minecraft. They're one part survival multiplayer, one part strategy, and one part resource management. The psychology of players is on full display as they make crucial decisions in real time that affect not only the individual players, but the survival of the entire group. With such stakes in the contest, consequences can trickle down quickly and significantly. What do you think, Warriors? Do you find Minecraft Civilization simulations interesting? Let me know in the comments below as I take the time to read every single comment you guys post. Well, that's it for today's video. Take care, everyone, and we'll catch you in the next one.